Okay, this is our live stream, and these are my tools, which I will explain to you in the following slides. So my first tool is called Jungle Time, Learn How to Tell Time for the iPad. The purpose of this tool is to allow students to have an easier understanding of telling time, but also in a fun way. It's very easy to use and is able to customize the look, feel, and the audio for many different types of learners. And is very interactive and has a various combination of settings for kids with visual and spatial reasoning challenges. It can be used within the classroom, either with a smartboard or on a regular hand clock, and for teachers to be able to teach students the minute and hour hands and to be able to show their extra practice and be able to grade. My second tool is called abcmouse.com. The purpose of this tool is to have a fun and comprehensive resource for learning and reinforces important early learning themes. The ease of this tool is the app can be easily controlled and organized by the teacher, and students will have easy access and simple directions once the teacher has set them up. It can be used within a classroom and taught with full teacher supervision, and however, if teachers want to customize learning paths for individual students, activities can be better targeted. So that's a plus. And for instance, if teachers have just covered a particular science topic, they can assign review activities to the entire class. My third tool is Pinterest. This one's one of my favorites. Pinterest is a useful tool both for random linking and for targeted searching. It can be used within a classroom to create ideas for crafts, lesson theme ideas, decorations, and many more. It's very easy to use, and you can even make your own files, and it is super simple, has a super simple interface and features that make it easy to search, discover, and save ideas. My fourth tool is Curious About Shapes and Colors. The purpose of this tool is that it has super fun games that feature solid, explicit, early math content. It makes it very easy for children and teachers to use and be able to understand verbal directions by Curious George, the character, which allows the students to ease into the understanding of the game and also be able to focus more on their comprehension of the shapes and colors within the game. It can be used within the classroom for a teacher to be able to think of many classroom activities with the Curious George theme and also with math. My Duolingo Tool 5 is a stellar language learning tool that levels up skills in bite-sized bursts. The purpose of Duolingo is to teach young students a second language. This allows them to practice that language within a fun and enthusiastic website. It is very easy to use, and it contains a simple, effective, and engrossing way to learn a language. It contains comprehensive, clear lessons that guide students through questions and let them individually set their own pace, which also personalizes their experience and makes it more fun for them. It can be used and taught within a classroom. With the website allows teachers to use the teacher dashboard to measure their students' progress and target in-class activities, whole class instruction, and or extra homework to their liking. My sixth tool is more of a fun tool, but it also has many ways to be able to teach students. Teachers can pick and choose clips and games based on the needs of their students. For an example, if students are learning about the letter B, the teacher can play videos and play games that explore B in many different ways. The strength and focus of SesameStreet.org is the quality and variety of its video clips. It can teach students about letters, vocabulary, math, social emotional cooperation, diversity, feelings, personal care, daily routine, healthy habits, and safety. And it's very easy to use, and the episodes are very categorized by the lessons taught within the episodes. Tool number 7 is called Accelerated Reader 360. The purpose of this tool is a stellar literacy platform for assessing student reading levels and promoting further reading. This tool helps teachers and students find more joy in teaching reading and learning to read. It's an easy way for teachers to give their students activities and quizzes and get their results to put in the gradebook. This also makes it easier for teachers to assign nonfiction text to their students. It can be used within a classroom because a teacher can use built-in text made especially for easy use, and it has great visuals in real time. My eighth tool is called Blooms. This one I thought was really cute. It's called Blooms because it has a flower for each student, and each flower grows based on their good behavior. And if they have good behavior, then they have a full flower. And every child seems to want a full flower. Blooms provides a great deal of functionality and interactivity for maintaining a valuable, robust school-home connection, and parents and students can view a calendar, behavior, sign up for conferences, or volunteer work, and view photos from both the website or an app. This allows teachers to have a very supportive aspect and communication with parents and students all in one. My ninth tool is called Khan Academy 5th grade math. This one I even used when I was in 5th grade and struggled with math. Sometimes a teacher can maybe not understand how a student learns as well as they thought they did. So a lot of times it's perfect for teachers to recommend to students that are having trouble understanding the math material in the few ways that they try to teach. My 10th tool is called Woot Math. Woot is a standalone fraction-based curriculum in upper elementary or middle school math classes that allows students to better understand the material. It's very easy to use, and it's a simpler and additional way to track students' math skills. It can be used in a classroom because it helps teachers teach and better practice with their students on fractions, ratios, and decimals. My 11th tool is called Doodle Math Shapes. This tool is really easy for students because it allows them to doodle or draw shapes and use math to do so. They're cheerful little critters that make learning about shapes even more fun, and the interactive activities seamlessly progress from basic to more complex. It can be used within a classroom when teachers can bring students together as a class to review the activity and ask kids to try drawing each shape on paper. Students can work through the rest of the activities using the same general process and then finishing with the find activity. As an assessment, teachers can have kids create their own hidden shape scene similar to the ones in the activity. Then the teacher can ask kids to share their puzzles with a partner and have the partner identify all the hidden shapes. But the purpose of this tool is to allow young students to expand their knowledge of shapes and math in a really fun way. It is a cute and engaging resource for introducing kids to basic shapes and challenging them to apply what they've learned. My 12th tool is called Elmo Loves 1-2-3s. Elmo Loves 1-2-3s takes kids on a learning romp from writing numbers to addition and subtraction. It can be an engaging way to help preschoolers learn their numbers in basic addition and subtraction, which will also prepare them for the introduction of multiplication and division and have it easier to understand within the classroom. It is a very easy tool to use for students and both the teacher to better understand and find better focus on the application with the Elmo character. The app also has minimal buttons and keys to make it easier for the students to comprehend how the app works. My 13th tool is called Kids Preschool Puzzles. The purpose of this is that it is a fun app for kids to practice with puzzles, but yet it does miss opportunities for learning. The app includes problems that are challenging, but keeps away from the problems of frustration. This helps children find joy within the app, which does help them learn, in my opinion. It can be used within a classroom because the puzzles can help kids, especially those who love puzzles and need to build English language vocabulary, play with shapes and words in a subtle, non-threatening way, and the app is easy enough that teachers can introduce kids to it and allow them to play with it solo. My 14th tool is YouTube Kids. The website is created to be basically a simpler version than the regular YouTube that we all use. But it's very catchy and has very catchy sounds, and easy navigation makes for an engrossing and endlessly engaging viewing experience. It can be used within the classroom because it allows the teacher to research and look up videos that they want to show their students in front of them and not worry about having inappropriate content show up on the screen in front of them. and it has hundreds of clips and full episodes available from favorites such as Sesame Street, Daniel Tiger, Peg and Cat, and many more. In addition, both the learning and music sections feature scores of educational songs and sing-alongs you could use as a whole class activity. My final tool is called Starfall ABCs. Starfall ABCs is a solid early learning app with a thorough approach to presenting the alphabet to preschoolers. But it also works for kindergarten and first grade for those falling a little behind. Starfall's free website is well respected for its learn to read activities, and the app is a streamlined way to access some of the site's content on mobile devices. It is a great way to put in a class. It is very easy to teach in a classroom to introduce the whole class to a letter of the day or week. Kids can view the pictures and animations with you demonstrating the activities or calling volunteers to complete them. They may enjoy copying the premise of Starfall ABCs to create their own pictures and songs to teach a letter to their peers, which would further reinforce learning.
So my first tool is called Prodigy. It's a math game that children are wizard avatar that progress through the wizarding world as they learn the math skills in the game. Children get to customize their own avatar and play games about math that help them have fun and learn. This game is easy to use because it is designed for children and designed to help them succeed in math. When you get a problem, the game helps you learn by giving hints. So that makes it a lot easier to use because it allows students to be able to see what they're doing and how it works. You can use it as a class to start out math every day, so it gives them like a little introduction, and the class can customize their avatar together and solve the problems for the school year to see how far they can get. So for my next tool, I have Dance Mat Typing, and it's a typing game that is used to teach children the proper way to type and sit while typing. The website is easy to use because it gives children a step-by-step guide with words and visuals to make sure they have a thorough understanding of the subject matter. This would be a good website to use in early childhood classrooms to introduce typing. As a lesson plan, you could have each child assigned to a laptop or desktop computer, and after each step, have the children raise their hand to see how they did. So my next tool is called Touch and Learn Emotions. It's an app that is used to teach children about body language and the facial expressions involved with the emotions. They are quizzed on the emotions displayed on the pictures on the screen. So there could be a child that has a really mad face, and they would have to choose out of like 4 options which the best would be to match that. It's easy to use because the app verbally says the emotion that the children are being quizzed on, and then the child only has to tap the coordinating emotion. The teacher has the ability to choose which emotions need to be focused on, so that makes it easier for the teacher to be able to make their lesson plan based on what the children are struggling with. Personally, I would use this app if the class is having problems with anger or with showing their emotion properly, which we all know happens a lot in kindergarten classrooms. I would use it in a lesson plan to show proper ways to demonstrate anger and unhappiness with others. My next one is called My Storybook Maker. It is an app that can be downloaded on iPads for children to make their own books. There are different elements to the app, such as voice recordings, illustrations, and typed stories that make this app fun for kids. This is an easy app to use for children because it explains each step throughout the process. It also would be easy for the teacher to be able to go into the iPad to evaluate the child's writing and grammar skills. This app could be used as a literacy station that children could work on daily. Each day, they could add more components and ideas to their story until they have a completed project to turn in, which who doesn't love getting to be able to make whatever they want? My next one is called Expeditions. It's a website used to give children a virtual field trip. There are places worldwide that most people would not typically see in their lives. It gives children a chance to learn about history with provided visuals. So if, say, the children said they wanted to go to Paris, it would have pictures of Paris up and little facts to go with each picture. This website will be easy to use because teachers can lead students to the sites and have them pick where they want to go. So it could be a little bit harder for the teacher, but for the students, all they have to do is sit and pick where they want to go. As a social studies lesson plan, teachers can have students vote on where they would like to travel most in the world. And they could do that each day so that everyone gets to be able to pick where they want. And then the teacher could explore that area. Afterwards, students could be prompted to write about how they think that the people in that part of the world live differently than we do. My sixth tool is called Numberline. It's an app that teaches children how to add, subtract, and count using the visual representation of a number line. Students can show adding by green shaded areas and subtracting by red areas. This app is easier to use because it is made for students. The representation of adding and subtracting through color make it easier to use for students with visual impairments or children that need more than just numbers. So it accommodates for all different types of students. In a classroom, you could use this to introduce adding or subtracting to young students. Teachers can teach their students how to use the app when they have them work on addition and subtraction problems until they can add and subtract without it. My next one is called Where Peace Rules. So it's called Cool School also, and it's a website that simulates common issues in the early childhood classroom and asks children for solutions. So it shows a video that's like crayons and different school tools that you would use. And it has multiple choice answers after the simulations for children to choose between right and wrong. So it'll have the video and then it'll show the children what the character should have done and what they did wrong. And this website's easy to use because it plays a video explaining the problem when the multiple choice solution appears right after. It's also easy to use for students with hearing impairments because it has subtitles. As a teacher, this would be beneficial to use in the beginning of the school year before any issues have time to occur. This would give students background knowledge for when tough situations occur. My eighth tool is called Teacher Monster to Read. Teacher Monster to Read is a customizable game that students can use to learn phonics through games. There are multiple games to keep the students interested in the game. This game is easy to use because it's designed for children. The multiple games make keeping students interested in the games and wanting to come back to play and learn more. As a teacher, you can use this to introduce phonics. After children have mastered their letters and are starting to progress, teachers can have the students play this game. This is a good introduction to the topic so that students have some understanding of the topic when they are taught by their teacher. My next one is called Edmodo, which I've personally used in high school, but it can also be used in an elementary school classroom. So it's a website/app, depending on who's using it and at which platform. And teachers can use this to communicate with their students. Students can turn in work, take quizzes, and send messages to their teachers. It gives students a localized place for all work instead of having like their email and then worksheets and stuff. It's all in one area. It's easy to use for teachers and students. The teachers gets to customize what the students see and which projects are available, and the student just has to click on the provided link. What can be easier than just clicking on a link? As a teacher, you can use this to take quizzes. So the students can give you quizzes on them to learn about themselves. You can provide digital copies of homework or projects, so there's no more excuses. And the answer student questions while at home. So if the student doesn't understand what's going on in the math problem or reading, they can't come in the next day and be like, well, I didn't understand this, because they have access to you at home. My 10th tool is called Prezi Classic. It's a fun way to present information, whether it be from students or teachers. At the elementary school level, it would be more beneficial for teachers to present information to students than it would be for students. Just because of the complexity of the website, I don't think it would really be that good for elementary school. But it would definitely be perfect for teachers to use because it's fun and interactive. Teachers can use this app to introduce new topics about science or social studies. The website is more animated than PowerPoint, so it will keep students engaged in the learning process. My 11th tool is called Moby Max. It is a website used to track progress of students in language arts, math, and social studies. Teachers can customize lessons and activities on the website based on the level skill of the student. This website is easy to use because it is customizable based on the level of the student. Teachers have the accessibility to print out reports and track the progress of their students throughout the school year. Teachers can use this website in small groups to help the students grow and have accurate representation of what they are learning. Students could also work in pairs or together as their whole small group to help each other learn and assist each other in areas that they are struggling with individually. My next tool is called Class 123. It is a website used to monitor behavior and set goals for behavior for elementary school age students. The website displays each student in the class and shows how many points they have to show a visual representation of their behavior. It also has other features such as a timer and blackboard that can be used to teach. This website is easy to use to track behavior with because you can have it up on your board at all times and just have to click to change how each student is behaving. In the classroom, you can use this to set personal and class goals. The chalkboard feature allows this to be possible. Individually, the students can set goals for how many points to earn, and as a class, how many good days before a reward is possible. My 13th tool is called Peer Deck. It is a website that allows students that are usually shy and do not participate regularly to state their opinions and show that they understand what is going on. The website allows students to anonymously share their thoughts. This website is easy to use for students because the teacher sets up the lesson and they have it up on their laptop or desktop computer, and all they have to do is respond when they find it best fit. As a lesson plan, teachers can use this for sensitive topics that they feel will not have full participation in person. Each student could be required to respond to at least one topic to show that they understand the material. My 14th tool is called Learn Zillion. It is a website that follows a common core to help make lessons that align with it. It helps to plan lesson plans as well as organize them to ensure that they flow as smoothly as possible. It's an easy website to use because you can add comments to your lesson plan to make sure that you are hitting all key points. It is also easy to use because it aligns with Common Core to help give ideas on what to make your lesson plans on. You can use this for teaching by using the suggestions they have to base your own lesson plans and to make sure that you are following Common Core. This would help if you are struggling on what to teach next. It will inspire you. My last tool is called Unlimited Books for Kids. It's a website that has unlimited resource of digital books. This website allows you to track your students' reading and what level they are on. It's an easy website to use for students because you search books by genre, so you get to teach them that, and then it also has pictures that correspond with the name of the genre to ensure that students with lower reading levels can still use the website, and also with visual impairments. You could use this as a lesson to assign reading books for school so that students have access to their school books while at home. They also do not have to worry about losing their books and getting in trouble. And it's great for parents so that they don't have to worry about if their kid brought their book home that day or if they're going to have to pay for the Teachers of all grades can use this because it's open for all students. So different groups are good and everything is perfect.
Shelly, tool number 1 is Vocabulary Spelling City. And the purpose of Vocabulary Spelling City is school and home based for students to learn spelling and vocabulary word lists. Students learn new words, practice spelling, and phonics awareness. It is easy to use because the teacher creates word lists and they can choose from 11 different learning activities. The only thing I do not like about this tool is that it can focus more on memorizing instead of actually learning the word and the meaning. And there are also printables for the teacher for reinforcement. This tool can be used in the classroom during a rotation for student learning. The word list and the game can be adjusted to meet the needs of each student. Tool number 2, the purpose of Go Noodle is to get students physically active in the classroom. It is interactive and it helps students throughout the day. It provides a positive incentive by awarding the class a medal for making it through each challenging level. It is easy to use because all the teacher has to do is set it up and the tool does all the work. Teachers create a classroom mascot and students level it up by completing activities, challenges. This is a great tool to use in the classroom because it helps the children stay active, have fun, and learn at the same time. And I do plan to use this tool first thing in the morning as a warm-up and during the afternoon noon time when students can become restless. Tool number 3 is settle your glitter. And the purpose of settle your glitter is to help students identify when they're feeling mad, sad, worried, or silly, and have them use the tool to calm themselves down. Teachers should aim to have this as an independent activity if students need it. This tool is best used on an iPad and is easy to use. The child selects their emotion and the severity of their emotion. And a puffer fish asks the child, should we asks the child, are they finished? The child can decide if they need to keep using the Settle Your Glitter app or go ahead to the next activity that they were doing. This is a great tool to use in a classroom for emotions, and this can be an alternative intervention in the classroom for a child experiencing difficulty instead of being removed. Tool number 4 is Cool Math. And the purpose of Cool Math is designed to teach math and make it fun. This website offers a variety of topics for all ages, and it helps reinforce already learned math concepts and to help build confidence in math skills. This tool is easy to use in the classroom and at home. Students select grade level topics of their choice, and they can explore the different games offered for that topic. This can be used as an informal assessment tool for the child because it does keep scores. This is a great resource to use at home for the parent and child. This tool can be used in the classroom during independent work time to help students remember a math skill that was being taught to them. And this is just another way to bring math alive through the eyes of a child. Tool number 5 is ABCia. And this purpose is it offers a variety of fun games for different grade levels and content. Teachers can have students play certain games based on what standard is trying to be taught. This tool can be a lot of work for this website. Students would have to learn how to navigate the whole keyboard, not just the mouse. Some of the games are easy to understand, but for some of the games, teachers would have to read the instructions to the students. Once the student is able to work the keyboard and to understand most of the directions, it would work independently. I think this tool wouldn't be a good tool to use in a pre-K through second grade setting. It seems the teacher would spend valuable instruction time reading directions and helping students work the keyboard. Tool number 6, the purpose of Pattern Shapes by the Math Learning Center is to provide a digital version of shapes that students traditionally use as hands-on manipulatives. And this app is easy to use. It has several shapes that students can build, connect, and learn with. This can be used for teaching a math shapes unit. This can also be used to teach children how to create images with digital patterns. It is just another way to show technology taking over the classroom. Tool number 7 is vocabulary, and the purpose of vocabulary is to get students to learn by listening to hip hop music. This website has educational hip hop songs and videos, and it centers around math, vocabulary, language arts, social studies, and science. This tool is easy to use and it's free. And I will definitely use vocabulary in my classroom. I have witnessed how excited children get with the catchy songs, and it offers weekly news updates called The Week in Rap. I think children will be able to recall a concept better by remembering a song as opposed to looking at it in a book. Tool number 8 is called Write About This, and the purpose of Write About This is to get students to write. It offers students many different categories to write about, or they can search topics to pick from. When launched, it asks students the question, what should I write about? This tool is easy to use and kid-friendly. Students are able to narrate a story and add pictures. They can add the finishing touches to their story with different ready-made images. And this is a wonderful tool to use in the classroom. The children will feel like an actual author because it is their story. It is just another way to demonstrate students' work, making it come alive. And I think it would be great for all grade levels. And I plan to use this tool to help promote my students with writing a story. Tool number 9 is my Very Hungry Caterpillar. And its purpose is to give students the opportunity to explore, create, and experiment and direct a caterpillar's actions. They can make scenes and watch day by day how the caterpillar changes into a butterfly. And this app is somewhat easy to use. Students may need help with this tool, but I did find it interesting that this tool, you will have to uninstall and reinstall the app so that each student will have the same experience with the caterpillar. And this has to be done. This is really wasting instructional time to me. This app is a great teaching tool, and this is perfect for explaining the life cycle unit. It can also incorporate with arts and writing. After students use this app, they can write about their very hungry caterpillar. And this would be a great teaching tool. Tool number 10 is Brain Pop Junior, and it is educational games, videos, and activities for reading and grades K through 3. It has math, reading, science, social studies, health, arts, and technology topics. Students can pick from one of the topics, and then it is broken down into categories. It's a very easy app to use, and its curriculum is based on the Common Core ELA and Common Core Math. All the teacher needs to do is use the search tool to find the subject and the topic, and then there will be videos, games, and activities for the students. This is not a free app, and it does require a subscription. I do like that it does go in line with the standards. However, I may not use this app. There are plenty of useful technology tools to use in the classroom that don't require a subscription. Tool number 11 is called Kahoot, and this is a free student response tool for all objectives. And the purpose of Kahoot is for teachers to run game-like multiple choice quizzes. This can be used as an assessment for all students at one time instead of the traditional paper or pencil test. This website is easy to use, and the teacher can create their own quizzes or use the ones that are already made. And what I found very neat is that you can add your own little twist to the quizzes to test your students. The questions are viewed on a smartboard, and the students put in their responses using a personal mobile device, and it shows their own color and symbol choice. The answers are viewed on the screen, and when it's in team mode, it lets groups of students play with each other and play against other teams. In the classroom, I could use this tool as a whole group assessment with my students. It seems to be a great tool for older students to use. I think it would make testing less stressful on students because you wouldn't have to write out the answer, and it would be viewed as a game. Tool number 12 is called Time Timer, and its purpose is to help children and or adults to focus on time tasks, transitioning, waiting, and understanding the concept of time. This is also a great tool for behavioral management. And the timers are colorful and clear to view. This app is easy to use. The teacher has to input the time and the task. The students can pick from different timers, and as the timer counts down, the children can see the color on the stopwatch light timer disappearing. Time timer in classrooms can be used for timing standardized tests and for helping students see how much time is left on the task, for independent reading or for a break. It is also good for students to learn how to pace themselves. I probably will not use this tool in my classroom. This app you have to pay for, and there are plenty of online timers. And I'm not sure if they are customized, but I can show students a timer on the smartboard. Tool number 13 is called Fruity Fractions, and this is an app that teaches students about fractions. It is aligned with the Common Core math and focuses on grades 1 to 3. It teaches students what a fraction is by separating fruit into equal parts and describing it with a numerator and a denominator. And students can divide up circles, triangles, squares, rectangles, and irregular shapes into equal parts. And there are about 50 levels for students to go through. This app is easy and fun to use. Fruity Fractions works better if each student has their own iPad, and there is a grown-up menu where the teacher can change the settings to suit each student. This app can be used in the classroom as a math rotation and is a great reinforcement of fractions. This app would be worth purchasing because I love the bright, beautiful colors and images and the different concepts of fractions it teaches. Tool number 14 is called Teaching Tolerance, and it's a website that offers free educational materials on topics that show diversity and respect in the classroom. There are lessons and activities to do for grades K through 12. If you are one that is for a lot of reading and reviewing content, then this website is perfect for you. While reading about this particular website, it says a teacher can get overwhelmed by the amount of content on here. As the teacher, you would need to review and decide what lessons and activities would align with what you're teaching students. I could use this tool in my classroom for social sciences. This website has so many topics, you can find something that would be beneficial to all the students. My last and final tool is called Time for Kids. It is a kid-friendly website with different topics and current events. This website is centered around the Common Core ELA standards. The purpose of this website is to keep children K through 6 in the loop with the news around the world. This tool is easy to use. The teachers can search a topic of interest. Students can learn about news in a kid-appropriate way. The news should not be scary. However, the teacher may have to do a follow-up to see if the students understood the content. Students can view other kid reporters as well. This site also has a homework helper that allows students to study flashcards on various subjects, take quizzes, and to get help with writing. This free website would be one that I would use in the classroom, but not for grades K through 3. I would use it for grades 4 to 6. I think it is too much for a primary student to understand and to navigate the website. This would be a great tool to use during social sciences to keep students up to date with current events. And Time for Kids also coincides with the adult version of Time for Kids. It's just more or less like a smaller version for kids.
All right, so my first tool is
All right, we're back. All right, so my first tool is called GroupMaker. GroupMaker is an app that is used for managing classrooms and to help with working together in groups or collaboratively. Teachers can make groups with students in their classrooms, and they can also take attendance and even control the noise level in their classroom. It is easy to use, but it does involve a lot of work when trying to set it up for your own classroom. The design of the tool is a little bit basic, so all the different features that are on this tool, it could be a little bit hard for you to see and to understand, like, how to take advantage of them. If I was a teacher, it would be beneficial to me because if I taught multiple subjects, it could help to keep my classes separated and organized, and it could also let me add pictures of my students. So if I was to have a substitute teacher or be absent or something, the person in my place would be able to recognize who my students were and what they looked like. My second tool is called Vizzle, and it's a website that is used to help teachers create lesson plans for their students that have special needs. And it's basically visual lessons that support and strengthen different concepts. It's a website, and it has a lot of different activities and formats that teachers can use to plan lesson plans for those that are suffering from dyslexia, autism, or some mental development delays. Going through the dashboard, though, may be a little bit time consuming. It could be helpful because it gives special needs children like the instruction that they need, even though they learn and they understand at a different place than the rest of the students in their classroom. My third tool is called Google Classroom. It's similar to Google Drive, but it's specifically made for those in elementary school and maybe sometimes early childhood. It's used for teachers and students to write, save, and organize their work without ever losing or forgetting it. The app is very easy to use and it's understandable. The format is a little bit basic, so it may seem boring to students, but it essentially gets the job done. It restricts certain things and denies access to inappropriate content that may not be suitable for children. Teachers can post announcements, share resources with students, and students can also get in very easy contact with their teacher and other classmates and an environmental setting that's safe. It makes students to become more productive because when completing their schoolwork, they don't have to worry about their work getting deleted because it automatically saves, so they don't have to worry about losing or missing it. My fourth tool is called Notability. Notability is a note-taking app, and it helps to collaborate with other students or do group work. There are a lot of different ways to organize your notes, and it also has an option to enable you to share your notes with other people in your classroom. There's also an audio recording feature that is part of this app. The app is easy to use, but some features could be difficult, especially if one doesn't really understand how to use the app completely or a student that may be younger. This is essential to have in my classroom because students can share their notes with one another, compare different topics that they have, one may have written down and the other one didn't, or share their notes with a student that may have been absent. So everyone gets the same information and it all comes from one place and it's organized. My fifth tool is called Dragon Box Numbers. It's an app that is mainly used for early childhood, children in kindergarten or pre-K. It helps them to understand the concept of numbers with different games and puzzles. It's easy to understand because it's made for younger kids, and kids can explore the app by themselves without needing assistance or much help to do so. It's one of the most fundamental concepts. Numbers are one of the most fundamental concepts that a student needs to learn. So this app helps to provide a new and fun way of doing so. My sixth tool is called KidBlog. It's basically it's basically a blogging website for kids. It's used for media literacy and instructional design. It provides safe and encouragement to students that are trying to, improve their writing skills. It's easy to use. It's just that it's a platform. So all teachers have to be the one to put up to set it up and put the topics in that lead the discussion. So students can know, what to write and what to comment or to talk about. The website is very straightforward and it will provide a positive blogging experience for students. This is important in the classroom because it becomes a safe and easy resource to discuss, debate, and confer over different topics. My next tool is called the Mood Meter. It's an app that helps and encourages students to contemplate and meditate on their emotions. Teachers can customize quotes that their students can read for each emotion that they are feeling. The app is very basic, so even younger children can use them. But teachers have to be the one to add the inspirational images and quotes for their students because the ones that are on the app already are very limited in the classroom because emotional stability is something that needs to be checked in with children, especially those that are in school. You can see how a child is feeling, track their moods, or try to make them feel better by figuring out what happened to them and just knowing, how they stand in that particular day. My eighth tool is called Tinker. It's a website that helps. Basically, it's about coding. They can code robots. They can create apps. They can make their own games. This is an advanced app, though. It's a little bit difficult to use, only because there's a lot of reading required. So someone that is on Tinker has to be that is very strong. Dealing with literacy, a lot of words. They have to be able to understand and follow along with the coding process. It's the best for strong readers, but there are also a lot of how-to videos that are on the website. This can definitely be used in an after-school setting or less privileged children who need a hobby or something that they can look forward to. My next tool is called ClassKick. It's an app that can be used for completing and turning in work. So forgetting my homework at home is no longer an excuse for students. Students can write and draw and submit their assignments to their teachers. It kind of works like a paperless classroom. The app is easy to use. The only downside is that the Wi-Fi has to be very strong. So when teachers upload their documents, it may become a hassle for them because it works kind of slowly because it only works on Wi-Fi. I would use this in my classroom as an alternative to using papers and knowing that even if a student, forgets their homework, the option is always there for them to turn it in to me online, that I can always have it and everything can stay organized. My 10th tool is called Desmos. It's a free online graphing calculator. I personally used this when I was in high school. Equations can be put into the website and can create graphs or solution to that equation effortlessly. It can also create tables and has many settings that can allow you to view your graph easier. The app is easy enough to use, and it's also a website, but is usually made for older students. Young children might not understand the complexity of the website, especially if the website is similar to one huge calculator. So younger students should stick with simpler calculators. This website is needed in a classroom because sometimes students cannot afford the expensive calculators that are required for higher math classes, but this website has all of those functions. So students can complete their homework if necessary. My 11th tool is called SID Science Fair. It's for pre-K children, those in early childhood. It helps kids practice and learn science, and it introduces concepts like data and charts. It's very easy to understand. There's only a little bit of activities though that are on the app, so a kid may become bored and may not want to return after they finish the activities, only because it's just a limited amount to do. I would use this app, quickly to introduce some concepts of science to the younger students, gently. My 12th tool is called Fizzy's Lunch Lab. It's a website that is used to promote healthy eating and learning. There's a lot of information about healthy eating and healthy lifestyles, and it is presented in a fun way for students. It's easy to use and understand, but some of the games may be a little bit too hard for younger children or those that are players. There are a lot of videos, though, that can be watched as an alternative to playing the game. Teachers can use this website about teaching when they're teaching about eating healthy and play one of the games as a whole class, so everyone can understand how important it is to live a healthy lifestyle. My 13th tool is called Cookies Monster Challenge. It's an app that helps with school readiness skills. So basic things like colors, alphabets, numbers, and shapes. The colors are very bold and they're bright, and there's not many directions that younger children would need to, read since they can't read yet. Uses if I was a pre-K teacher, you can assess where your students are academically, and teachers will be able to see how far or how much their young students know already, or what skills that they're lacking or they do not have at all. My 14th tool is called EasyBib. EasyBib is an online citation maker, and it essentially helps with your research papers. It allows you to write note cards for your topic and organize them so that it is easy to find. You can also put in the information that you have for a source that you used, and it will cite it for you. The website is very easy to use, but there are some features that require money, especially if you're not under a school subscription or your teacher hadn't already set it up for you. This can be used when writing large research papers as a way to avoid plagiarism and teach students how to cite their sources properly and without error. Our last tool is called Shmoop, and it's a website that incorporates pop culture and contemporary issues into actual learning, math, and books that may have been read in class. It provides summaries as well as explanations to concepts that might not have been understood by a student. It is very easy to use if you know what you're looking for on the website. It is team-friendly and uses appropriate contemporary lingo, but students can't track their progress, though, on quizzes, and some features on the website require money. I would use this in my classroom because it provides educational value and wouldn't be boring to students. Teachers can assign different readings or summaries from Shmoop and believe that their students will do it because it is so fun to use.
All right, and that is the end of our live stream. Thank you for watching and listening.